yield back, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. Mr. Turner.
When Senator Joe McCarthy walked the halls of Congress, people in this nation were transfixed, but they were also appalled. And this body then recognized the danger of unethical abuse of congressional powers. Now, the testimony from Steve Hall today says that he has Vladimir Putin as identified as his primary goal is the weakening of democracy in the United States and the West. Mr. Chairman, I'm asking for your resignation today because I believe you are advancing Putin's work. I believe the chair has abused his power in these processes, and he's misrepresenting the information that we've received in classified sessions. Now, Mr. Chairman, when this body understood that McCarthyism was something to be rejected, it for years watched it. But you are using that playbook. With McCarthyism, we had Russia chasing after Russian communists, and now we have Schiff chasing after Russian collusion and those who would collude. Mr. Chairman, in your opening statements, you attacked in true McCarthy fashion each and every one of this. You stated that you stated what we think. You can't say what we think. It's the lowest form of any argument to attack someone. Now, what we have said is we've come forward and said that we all think that your leadership of this committee is compromised, in part because you behave as if your fellow members of this committee are your enemy. You behave as if the president is also similarly your enemy. And in true McCarthy fashion, you act as though you are the only one who is capable of protecting this nation, and everyone else is a co-conspirator who have suspected intentions. Your response could have been that you're here to protect national security, that you're here to ensure this committee has no leaks, that you're here to ensure that this committee works together, and that you want to have a true bipartisan work to support the international intelligence efforts of our country. Instead, you've shown contempt for your fellow members of Congress. For 2 years, your opening statements have repeatedly attacked the members of this committee, their motives, and their work. You have transformed the staff of this committee so that they are prosecutorial instead of working on issues of national security and intelligence. You have misrepresented to the American people information that we received in classified sessions. And you've had this committee diverge from its goals. That is a danger to our national security. It is a distraction. It causes this committee not to function. When this Congress took a look back at itself and what had happened with Senator Joe McCarthy, it made a commitment that Congress would no longer be abusive in its powers, that it would look to protecting its national security. And Mr. Chairman, your reactions today were in true McCarthyism as you chose to attack us instead of state your commitment to national security. Ms. Conley, did Joe McCarthy advance Russia's communistic goals of separating our country? Did McCarthyism advance democracy, or did it hinder democracy? Did McCarthyism shackle us with a burden of divisiveness rather than cohesiveness in trying to move forward as we look to our adversaries?
Congressman, I'm not the best place witness to answer your question.
Ambassador McFaul?
I'm also not an expert on McCarthyism. I'm an expert on
I just want your
things.
personal opinion.
I do think polarization in our society advances Putin's national interest, as defined by him.
I greatly appreciate you answering that question. Now, my question goes to Montenegro.